Hello, April monthly energy reading. Wow, we are in the fourth month of 2023. Wild. Welcome. So, if you're finding me from YouTube, this video is a part of my monthly newsletter, and I send that out either on the first of every month or a little bit before. I do some personal shares. You get first access to this video. I share some of the tools that I'm utilizing on my healing path, and it's honestly the place on the internet where I am the most raw, most authentic, sort of a less polished version, if you will, of self. I think it's important to have those authentic spaces, but also at the same time, navigating boundaries on the internet is interesting and fun. So if you are interested in joining my newsletter, I do not spam you. I send out 1 to 2 emails a month max. The link is below. It's just right on my website. So, welcome to the April Energy Tarot reading. I'll start off by saying I had every intention of coming on here throughout March. We had some big shifts in March. It just wasn't aligned. I wasn't physically feeling that great. There was a lot going on, and so it just wasn't aligned for me to come on and do a video. I really, really wanted to, but that also means that this reading is going to be pretty juicy because there are some things that I want to touch on. So, disclaimer I always give, take what resonates, leave what does not. Please do not force this to fit. Every channeler is going to be taking in information from source, and mine happens to go through the Jesse Sadiq filter. So if the Jesse Sadiq filter does not resonate, there are other channelers out there that will be a great fit for you. So please do not force this. But my intention is for this to resonate, for this to empower you and give you the tools and the foundation to walk through April in a confident and intuitive manner. Please don't shoot the messenger when I tell you what the energy theme is for April. There is a very strong human connotation to the energy theme that I channeled through. But I've been sitting with this for the past week or so. And for me, it's actually been really beautiful. And one of the things that I'm starting to digest is as we go through these collective shifts. And I apologize, my voice is still a little raspy from not feeling the best this past month. So you might notice that my voice goes in and out a little bit. One of the shifts that I have really been digesting is removing the forcing of the good, of like things have to be good. Like we do need good, right? We're going through a lot, but removing the forcing of the good and allowing things to ebb and flow, allowing the darkness and light to flow as we go through this collective consciousness shift. So with that being said, the energy theme of April is chaos. Again, with chaos, there can be a very negative connotation, but as I've been sitting with this, meditating on it, and I will say too, once that energy theme channeled in, I was seeing so many videos on social media using the word chaos, which is always kind of my guide's confirmation of something. When I get a download, then I will also see it in my external environment a lot. It'll come up in conversations, I'll see it on social media, whatever it is, it will come through. So with this negative connotation, in April, can we do our best to let go of the forcing of the good and allow the quote unquote bad, which, good and bad are human concepts, right? But we are humans, so we get to explore human concepts here. Yes, they're very loaded human concepts. And this month we get to start to see the beauty that comes from chaos. And it's not going to be any surprise to you that chaos is the energy theme of April, because that's also really been ramping up in March too. I mean, so much of what is, coming up in the collective experience is chaos. And I want to validate that it's painful. And my intention with sharing these messages is to never reject anyone's experience of pain during this, to never, yeah, I guess that's kind of how I want to phrase it, is like there is true suffering going on here. And I don't want to minimize that. But I also want to share messages that empower us, that know us, that allow us to see that we have the tools within us. We are able to unlock abundance. We are able to unlock joy. We are able to unlock freedom within ourselves. And that's also a big theme this month too, is taking a big step back from externalizing our power. So you'll sort of see some of these things that I've been preemptively talking about as we get into the cards. And like I said, I was sitting on a lot in March, so I did make notes, so I might glance over at my notes. I don't like to do that because I feel like it breaks the flow of channeling, but I might do it anyways. So before we get into the tarot reading, if you are in the space to close your eyes, take a mindful breath, connect to the earth and your intuition, let's go ahead and do it. So you can close down your eyes or find a downward gaze. Soften your shoulders. Unclench the body. Let's take a big inhale up. Sigh it out. If you're feeling called to kind of shake out the hands, shake out the body, wiggle it out here, let it go. Let's take a big inhale up. Sigh it out. One more inhale up, shake it out if you need. Okay. So the first two set of cards we have here is the Lovers and Ten of Wands. So what was really cool was earlier today, I heard a different interpretation of the Lovers card, which I really enjoyed. So my general interpretation of the Lovers card is trust. When we have found trust within ourselves, then we are able to trust in relationships. The Lovers card is about unity and coming together, partnership, relationship. And for me, a big element of that is trust. But what was really cool about this interpretation of the Lovers that I heard is it's also having a choice. And within this choice, we can choose two opposite ends of the spectrum. We can choose love or fear. We can choose unity or division. And the Lovers card coming in this month feels like it's showing us, how are we going to interpret this chaos? How are we going to respond to this chaos? And it being paired with Ten of Wands, there was this strong message that if we want to find unity, if we want to step into oneness, one consciousness, however you want to phrase it, this month in the chaos, we're going to be asked to start to set down the identities, the belief systems, the habits that feel like baggage. And they're really tying this into our political system. I'm speaking from experience in the US, but if you're outside of the US, this still can land. Our political beliefs are very polarizing, right? I that's not a shocker for me to say that out loud. So what part of your belief system and your identities that you have been holding on to that are feeling like baggage and are feeling like I am obligated to hold this up because of sort of this external pressure that I have felt that has created this belief system? So it's really like, can we drop the facade here? So what parts of identity and beliefs feel really heavy and feel rooted in I'm showing up in this way because there's this external pressure? And that is how we shift this chaotic experience. I mean, the heat of the collective is really being turned up. There's so much going on. and it can feel really easy to feel the weight of the world in this. And so creating this new relationship with chaos means, can we come back to the Lover's card? Know that we have a choice where we land on the spectrum of this experience. Can we see something that is scary and brings up fear, and know that fear is not our reality? We get to create our reality. And that does not mean pushing down fear. That does not mean, rejecting anyone or diminishing anyone else's experience. It's just knowing that fear is an energy that is present in this physical realm at this time, and that we don't have to move from that. We don't have to create belief systems from that. We can feel it, and then we can start to peel our sense of self back from it. I like to think of this as Velcro. When we are reconditioning, deconditioning, we are starting to peel that Velcro away. These belief systems are starting to be removed from our sense of self. And when we remove these belief systems from our energy being, is that what I want to say? Our energetic field. Let's go with that. When we start to remove this from our energetic field, our external world will change. And again, if you've been listening to my messages for a while, it's not going to be a shock for me to share that we shift this external world by doing the internal work. Yeah, that's where I'm gonna go with the Lovers and the Ten of Wands. So what are we embodying this month in the chaos? Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is very passionate. It's sort of this feminine flow. If feminine doesn't resonate, yin, water energy, it's very flowy. It adapts, and it's also very powerful. So, with this chaos, there are going to be those in need. It might be you. It might be some people in your community, some people in your circle, some people that are not directly connected to you, but you want to help. So with this chaos, Queen of Wands is going to ask us to respond in a way that we are passionate about. So again, with this Ten of Wands, letting go of sort of these outdated, these identities that are weighing us down, Queen of Wands is going to ask us to step in and embody our soul gifts. What is our soul just naturally drawn to doing? The way that we heal this collective, the way that we pick up the pieces when the chaos dies down, is by going deeper into self and saying, hey, when I'm removing the external pressures of who I should be, when I'm removing these identities of, my political identity of, oh gosh, what else do I want to say? I mean, there is a heavy emphasis on political identities, but whatever it is, whatever belief system, when I strip this away and I just ask myself, like, hey, what feels good to me? What am I passionate about? And if it feels good, how can this be of service to the collective? That is something that we get to sit with this month and going forward of, there's no right way to respond to this chaos. And again, there's going to be a lot of external pressure. I mean, you see it on social media in responses to tragedies that we're experiencing in the collective. And while I don't want to diminish that, there can also be a lot of pressure in the way that we respond, and it can pull us away from our intuitive nature. I mean, some people, the way that they are meant to heal the collective is through meditation. And there are others that are more active and meant to heal the collective through the physical doing. But from what I've experienced is there's a lot of heavy emphasis on the physical doing, and there's not enough emphasis on that internal energetic shift that comes from meditation, that comes from, doing the self-work and taking those small internal steps. Because the collective experience that we see in our external world, the only reason why we see it is because we hold that energetic vibration within each and every one of us. And so if we want to see these external shifts, it means that we need to be doing the internal work. So Queen of Wands energy. What are you passionate about? And if it doesn't come up right away, that's okay. Know that the universe is here to guide you. If you watched my 2023 psychic predictions, I said one of the big themes this year is for healers to be activated. And healers is such a wide range. Again, it could be someone who just gets really deep into their meditation practice. And I promise you, my guides always hammer this home, that does so much more than we think, because we have been conditioned to believe that we live in a purely physical world. But the physical shows up from the energetic. And so if we peel back the physical and start to focus on the energetic, that's when we see the external shifts. Okay. Coming into the second part of the reading, and I know I said there was going to be a lot coming through, and there is a lot coming through, so I'm happy that you're still here. There was a huge focus on abundance and money last month, and we're going to go even deeper this month. I know there is a lot of financial uncertainty out in the world. I'm feeling that here in the US and wherever you are. I know that there is a lot of uncertainty when it comes to resources, financial and physical resources. So what is really cool about this time, and what is also really intimidating and scary about this time, is we are completely restructuring our relationship to money energy. Money is just energy, but it's energy that has a lot of layers, a lot of human connotations, a lot of stories. And we each came here to experience a different relationship with money. So these next two cards, we have Page of Cups and we have Page of Coins. A lot of feminine energy this month with Page of Cups, Page of Coins. It is a very feminine and very curious energy. It's also a very novice energy, so something that is new and sort of, you're exploring it, and you might not necessarily have all the answers, but again, coming back to Queen of Wands, there's like that passion behind it. So with Page of Cups and Page of Coins, can we start to become our own inner authority when it comes to money and resources? We have been taught and conditioned through our current financial system that we are not the ones who hold power when it comes to money. But as we start doing the internal work, as we start becoming embodied and getting deeper and deeper into our own intuitive process, we are going to start to realize that the external no longer matters when it comes to having our needs met financially. Again, I know there's a lot of layers around that, a lot of layers to unpack, but my intention here is to remind you that you have all of the tools that you need within, and there is no system out there that is more powerful than you. We have just been taught to believe that we need to create identities around these systems that disempower ourselves. So with Page of Cups and Page of Coins, can you start to tend to your inner emotions when it comes to finances and the things that we're going to see unfold in the upcoming months, the chaos? I mean, there is going to be chaos around our financial systems. We can hold two ends of the spectrum. We can be in fear, or we can be in love and trust and say like, wow, this is a really big opportunity for us to take our power back. And I know that I am no longer going to make decisions based off fear, based off feeling like I'm not good enough, whatever the story is when it comes to money. And the message that I kept getting throughout March when I was watching some of this stuff going on with the banks, was, how do they want to say this? This is prepping you to be a true creator. And when I say creator, I mean literally creating something physical, tangible, just with your mind and your energy. That is something that we have the ability to do. And that sounds way far out there, but that's actually pretty near in our future. And this crumbling of systems is going to allow us to get back to the basics of understanding how energy works, and that it is through our mind and it is through our internal state that the physical is created. So when we are able to detach from these oppressive financial systems, we're going to see that we actually don't need the external world. We don't need these sort of financial systems that are in place to be resourced and to have the abundance that we need. Again, this is layered and complex, but the overall theme around this is, can you feel your feels? Do not allow your reality to be created by your feels. Allow your reality to be created through curiosity and play, and take a trust fall with the universe here. Trust that the resources that you need will show up when you need them. Final part of the reading, which is still going to tie into abundance. Ace of Coins and Four of Swords. So Ace of Coins is a new source of abundance coming in, and this feels like collective. And the message that wants to come in around Ace of Coins is, what my guides are sharing is that there a timeline moving forward of whatever our financial system looks like, whatever structures come into place from this sort of crumbling that we're seeing around the financial system, is not solidified. And I don't know if you've seen, but there's been a lot of channeling around this, and a lot of different things coming in. When I tune into it, it's always, we're going to be coming back to basics and understanding the energetics rather than the more tangible currency of things. We're coming back to energetics. We're coming back to energy exchange. But my guides are saying that there's no solidified timeline as to what that looks like going forward. And I think there's going to be a lot of trial and error with things sort of like in the realm of crypto. There's a lot sort of going on around there, but what my intuition and my guides are sharing is that we are not at the vibration yet. Our collective vibration is not high enough at the moment in order for a solution, whatever you want to call it, a solution moving forward that's going to stick. We're still needing to do some internal work here. So it hasn't been solidified, but what is really great about that is Four of Swords. So this is a card of meditation. This is a card of being in your own energy and tuning into your internal guidance system. So this month, as we're, embodying Queen of Wands, allowing ourselves to be passionate, as we're also embodying 10 of Wands, allowing ourselves to drop these identities that no longer feel good and that feel like baggage. Four of Swords is asking us, what do we want to see moving forward? What sort of financial system do we want to see moving forward? And that doesn't mean that you need to have this whole complete restructuring. That might be part of your soul's work in this lifetime, but it's more like, what do I want this to feel like? How can the collective and myself feel more empowered? And that could just be getting into a meditation and calling in this empowering energy, this abundant energy. I promise you, embodying these vibrations does so much more than we have been conditioned to believe. So, as we go through this chaos, know that this is part of it. And we don't need to force the good this month, but we know that we can access the good at any point. And that when we ask, we will be provided for. If you find yourself in a situation and you're like, I just don't know, take a step back, call on your guides this month. Ask them to give you breadcrumbs. Ask them to shine the light for you. Okay. April, yeah. Thank you for watching this. It means everything for my work to be seen, for you to be here, for you to resonate with what I'm sharing. If this really resonated and you've been thinking of a friend the whole time that you're watching this video, I do the same thing. Please share. If you're interested in knowing how this is going to show up for you on a deeper level, you can always book a reading with me this month. Yeah, and for anyone who is looking to develop their psychic abilities, I do work with people one on one through my training as a therapist. I have sessions called psychic therapy, where I use the training that I learned as a therapist, and then we add a psychic twist. So it's a fusion of therapeutic work and psychic work. If you think that you might be a good fit for that, what I would say is book a reading with me. And then we take it from there. So if you're interested, everything's on my website. We do have, oh gosh, a full moon on April 5th. Is that in Virgo? I want to say it's in Virgo. Don't quote me on that. And then, or was it Libra? I don't know. I'm questioning myself. Not an astrologer, but on the 5th. And then we also have a new moon in Aries. Is it the 24th? Wow. I tried to look this up before the video and now it's completely evading me. But what's cool about this second new moon is it's the second new moon in Aries this year. And on my Instagram, I always do tarot spreads on the full and new moons through the DM. So if that's something that you're interested in, maybe you want to book a reading with me, but you're unsure, my tarot spreads are a nice way to get familiar with my work, see if it's a good energetic fit. Because like I said at the beginning of this video, it's really important that you feel like you have an energetic fit with someone and that it resonates. So I might be the channeler, the psychic for you, and I might not, and that is okay. Okay, I think that's all that I got for you. Happy April. We got this. I'm sending you love.